Hi everyone, I'm Jane Trotter and welcome to Accelerando Piano. Today we are going to be looking at repeat marks, what they are, what they mean. So let's dive straight in. I have for you just a little chart here so you can see what they look like. These are our repeat marks. We've got two of them basically. They usually come in pairs. And we have the double dots on the inside for this one and the matching double dots on the inside for that one. Let me take you through into this first little piece here. Now, I just want to talk briefly about where they're used and why we have the repeat marks. And basically, a repeat is when you are, as the title suggests, repeating a bit of music. And by having the repeat marks there, it basically saves having to write out the music all over again. So it's a space-saving device. But it doesn't mean you've got to pay attention and just work out where you've got to go back to and those sorts of things. So we're going to start off with the very easy one first. And this little piece called Rondino, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer, but just so you can see the whole piece there, and you'll spot actually that the repeat sign is there. So let's zoom in a little bit closer, and here we go. Now, this one goes right back to the start. So you go right back to there. This one doesn't have, so if I just go back a page, this one doesn't have the matching pair, if you like. It doesn't have that one. But the rule is that when you have this mark here, and you don't have those other matching double dots, you would go all the way back to the beginning. So you would go all the way back to the start of the piece. So essentially you would play these first two lines twice. And then the rest of the piece, after you played that bit twice, you would just carry on down and everything is as you would expect it to be. No other repeats, and it finishes nicely at the end. So that's your very simple repeat there. It goes right back to the start, if it's at the start there, and you play it twice. The next one here, the quadrille, I'll just leave it up there so you can see it in its entirety first. We have got three of these little repeat markings. Whoops, I'll do that. So we've got one there, we've got one there, and we've got one there. So let's zoom in and take a look. So this guy here, if we check for our other double lines and double dots, the matching pair of that one, there aren't any. So you would go right back to the start. All good so far. Let's check down a little bit lower because this is a little bit different. You don't always have to have just one repeat in a piece. You can have multiple repeats. So here we go in the second half of the piece. We've got the repeats here. Now this is a perfect example of where we've got our matching double dots. We've got this guy here with the dots on the inside. So we'll do that. And this matches with our dots on the inside there. So what's going to happen here is that you would play through this bit. You would start here. You would play all the way through. Da, 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 da. Then you would repeat and you would go back to here. And then you would play that all over again. You would not, from this guy, you would not go all the way back to the very start, because that is this repeat. That one heads to there. So for this one on the bottom, we do that independently as a repeat. So those ones are pretty straightforward. They just basically repeat those blocks of music in their entirety, if you like. So it's a definite set or area, number of bars that you'd go back and play again. But there is another element to the repeats which not so much make it harder, but again, just an extra layer that you've got to be aware of. So if we go back and have a look at the next piece, which is our arabesque. Now, we have got a number of repeats. I'll just show you it in its entirety again. But we've also got these things here. So we get that on. We have got those, what we call first time and a second time bar. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's have a look. So we've got our repeat mark there. Excellent. Now, we would go back and check if we've got a matching inside double dots, and yes we do. Great. So that is where we would go back and repeat from. We wouldn't do those first two bars because the repeat is there. If that repeat sign here wasn't there, then you would go back to the very start. But it is, so we've got to go back to there. Let's take off a couple of those. Okay, so here we go. We start at the start, so we'd start on this bar, off we go. We'd play through until we got to this bit. This is our first time bar, and because it's our first time through, we would play that bar. Then we have the repeat marks, so we would go back to our matching double bars, double dots, double bar lines. There we go. So we would go back and play this bit again. When we got to here, we would not do the first time bar. We've already done that one. We would skip straight over to this guy, the second time bar. And from there, we would carry on. And you can see here under all of my scrawls that the first time bar and second time bar are slightly different. So the second time bar is leading you on to the next bit in the music. Okay, so let's keep going. So we've done our first two lines. Excellent. And let's make that slightly smaller so we can get all of that in there. Okay, so second half of the piece. We have got one there to watch out for. And we've got one there to watch out for. And we've got our first and our second time bar. So, having done the repeat in the first bit, we then start playing from here. And we go, right, play right through, right through, right through, right through, right through. We get to our first time bar. We go, yep, we're going to do that. Play, play, play to there. And then we think, okay, we've got the repeat marks. We've got to go back to its matching pair, which is right back to this guy. So we're on the second time now. Play, 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 until we got to here. And then just like up above, we would not play the first time bar. We would shoot down to the second time bar, and then we play right on out to the end. So if we take that back, so you can see all of it again. A bit tricky to navigate. There we go. So that's our repeats. We've got ones which can go just straight back to the beginning, like the one I showed you at the start. We've got the matching double bar lines with the double dots, and when you got to the end, you would go back to its matching pair, and you would play that section of music again. And then you've got the ones like in the arabesque, the final piece, where we've got a first time bar or a second time bar. So depending on whether you're on the first time through or the second time through, you would play that particular bar. So I hope that makes it a little bit easier to follow those repeat markings. They're a great way to save space on the music. And once you get the hang of them, it's quite straightforward to navigate around those and follow where you've got to go. So have fun with your repeat marks.